The 75mm f2.8 AL for the Pentax 6.7. I bought this lens several months ago and I've been using it almost on a daily basis at this point. And I don't really want to make any typical YouTube review of this lens or any other lens or camera for that matter. I just don't think I have it in me anymore. I do like talking about things though that I'm actually using and talking about like the practical real use application. That's what I want to share today. So we're going to look at some film scans over the last few months, some personal stuff from the family, some project stuff, just give you an idea of the characteristics of the lens and how it performs and how it is to shoot with. And the last time I did one of these life on film videos, it just did a lot of good for me. It felt good, and you guys left just so much kind and heartwarming feedback and comments there. I appreciate you all sitting with me and just looking at pictures, talking about life, talking about photography, and just having a good time. So I appreciate you all being here. Welcome back to another episode of Therapy with Dad, basically. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a website, go to squarespace.com/mattday, but we'll talk more about them at the end of this video, so let's get started. So we got a handful of pictures here, again, just stuff from all sorts of different things. We'll start it off here. This was just walking around the property one morning as the sun was coming up. I was just trying to get a feel for, the lens and the light that morning, just trying to get my eyes going for the day. And the 75mm focal length, this has given me roughly like a 35mm field of view if I was using, a 35mm camera or a full frame digital camera. And that's always been my favorite focal length to work with, just because I find like it's the best storyteller lens in terms of doing any kind of like documentary style photography. It includes just enough without being like overwhelming, and I don't find it to be too restrictive either. Just a good natural field of view that I'm comfortable and familiar with. This is FP4, which has a film speed of 125, so I shot a lot of this roll wide open at f2.8, and you'll see that, maybe my eyesight isn't as great as it once was. I'm pretty sure I had this in mind when I was focusing, and it's definitely not in focus. It looks like I'm just a little bit further past it. In fact, these down here look a lot sharper. The 75mm that I was previously using, the f4.5, that one has a little bit of a longer minimum focus distance, and I really like being able to get close when I want without having to, either switch lenses or add any kind of like macro ring or extension tube, anything like that. If I can just get close naturally with the lens, I love that, especially with a 35mm field of view. When you zoom in here, you can see just how shallow it is, and you can also see like how sharp the lens is. When you hit focus, your focus point there, it is very sharp, but it's just you don't have a ton of depth wide open, obviously, when you're shooting this close. But again, that's what drew me to the lens in the first place, being able to get close and kind of have that soft and glowy kind of look on little details like this. I want to be able to do that for, print projects and book projects, different things that I have in mind that I've been shooting lately. Having something like this, I've been really having a lot of fun with it. I do think that maybe I need to slow down just a little bit more when I'm focusing with the lens, or maybe the LASIK surgery I had like 10 years ago. Maybe it's starting to wear off a little bit. I'm not really sure. This was actually the very first photo I shot with this lens. It was right after I opened it up on the back patio there. And obviously, like I mentioned, it's very, very shallow, and you can see that just ever so slightly, I'm back focusing. It's just a little bit further back behind her eyes. Her right eye is a little bit more in focus than her left eye, which is the one a little bit closer to me. It doesn't work for a million different reasons. She still looks gorgeous as always, but using this lens at f2.8, I have missed focus a lot more than I thought I would. So as I've been going through the backlog and developing, all the film, I've just been shooting all willy-nilly. Yikes. This photo here of Nora, she's so serious. But you can see her eyelashes there. You can see just how shallow and sharp that is. Like, it's unreal. And again, that kind of look out of a lens giving me roughly a 35 equivalent, it's just been a lot of fun to work with. And when I do hit focus, I love this one here. I love the wind in her hair and everything, and the catch light in her eye. And of course, those signature two front teeth of hers. I just love the way this lens looks, especially when I get close. When I do hit focus, it's been fun. Some of my botched film, we can take a look at that. This is when I double loaded my reels and forgot to tape it. Maybe you saw that video. I really liked this photo. We got a lot of rain, and I was driving around and shooting a lot of the fields and everything that had flooded. And I liked this photo. I liked the composition and everything. Of course, my developing is it's leaving a lot to be desired there. But if you zoom in, we'll wait for my computer to catch up here. This is a pretty big file. It's a great lens though. I love the look of this lens. When I stop the lens down like 5.6 f8 and get a lot more in focus there, and I don't have to worry as much about missing focus. I just love the quality that I'm getting out of the lens. Like if I want that soft and glowy kind of look and shooting into the light wide open and all of that, I like that I have the ability to still get that kind of look, but it has a level of sharpness that's still there. That to me is what I really like about it, because I don't mind character, but I don't want the character of the lens to be the talking point. So a Noctilux, a Petzval lens, any of those, like, dare I say, gimmick lenses where it's like you're using it for one very specific look, I don't want that to be the talking point of any of my work. So I want there to be, some actual good sharpness there. But if I can have fun with the lens and just use it in different ways and getting different looks, that's really what I'm looking for. This one here was literally just holding it up while I was driving, just point and shoot. I don't recommend doing that, but you can zoom in here for, mid driving down the highway. That's a pretty sharp negative zoomed in all the way. What's this guy got? Where are you going with all that stuff, pal? This will be a good one to share. This is probably going to be an outtake from the project I'm working on right now, but give you guys a little tour of Chillicothe. It's pretty wild, honestly, to be able to see any detail at all this far out. We're at 200% zoomed in. We'll go back to 100. Little look at downtown Chillicothe. My old office space used to be right here. Had a little studio on Main Street down here at one point. The cover of Social Distancing I shot right there, so if you have that zine, you might recognize that spot. Working on the next book for Chillicothe, and I'm having fun with it, and it's finally getting somewhere. Real excited. My little back patio still life here, a little jar of peanut butter that Rusey had cleaned out for us so we could take it to the recycles, and Rusey definitely made sure she got hers, and I wanted to get a photo of it, and I used the close focus distance just so I could see what it would look like and share it here in this video. I did stop it down to, I think, f4 or maybe 5.6. It definitely wasn't wide open because I felt that if I tried to shoot wide open this close, nothing at all would be even visible. So I actually do want to start shooting still life stuff and just try and get into it and have fun with it and just experiment, just to learn, just to simply learn. I've never shot anything like that, but I think it would be a lot of fun. I love this photo of Molly in the backyard. It's probably a little bit out of focus. Yeah, I definitely missed focus just ever so slightly. Again, wide open. This far enough, especially on a print, it's close enough. It'll be fine. I still have my 105 f2.4. I think that's why most people buy into the Pentax system in the first place, just so they can use that lens. That's why I did it years ago. And I still have that lens. I think as long as I have my Pentax, I'll always keep it. But I would say for 99% of my uses, I mean, it has the field of view, the close focus. It does really everything I would want it to. So for the foreseeable future, this thing is just going to be stuck to the front of my camera. So if you guys have any questions about the lens, about the pictures, thoughts of your own, please let me know in the comments down below. I love doing this kind of stuff. I want to keep doing it, and as long as you guys are here and engaging and watching, I will keep them coming. So I appreciate all of the love and support from you guys. It has been a mentally just draining and exhausting month as we wait for our boy to be here. We've had some false labor trips to the hospital. As a matter of fact, I tried to film this video 2 different times. It wasn't this video. I was filming a different video on 2 separate occasions, and hours on end I sat down and tried to record. And I just mentally this month, it's been a lot, and I have dealt with OCD and anxiety my entire life. You guys know that. And at times when I sit down to record these videos, it takes me a while to like break out of that because I'm just not naturally comfortable talking to a camera. If we're in person, I'll talk your ear off all day long, and you guys probably know that if you know me, but doing this kind of thing, talking to the camera, sometimes it's really, really easy for me to get in my head and just be overly critical of every little thing. So for 2 days in a row, I sat here and for hours on end couldn't make it more than just 2 sentences strung together before I would stop and start over. 2 different days, 2 separate occasions, and talking about stuff I love talking about and stuff that I've been doing for 8 years now here on the channel. This month it's been 8 years, which is just crazy, and it's my job at this point. and I still couldn't do it. So I've had some low points this month mentally, just with all of the stress and anxiety. So if you've been struggling mentally, trust me, I get it. Give yourself some patience and some love. Talk to a friend, family member, therapist if you can. Just talk, get it out. I promise it helps. It's not fun, but it makes a difference. So thank you all so much for watching these videos. Again, all the love and support, it means the world. And thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video, supporting what I do here on the channel, and just helping me keep it going. If you need a website, without a doubt, Squarespace is the place to do it. I've been using their service for so long, way before they ever sponsored my YouTube channel, because they really are the best option out there. If you're a photographer, obviously you should have a website, a place where you can control where the work is, what goes in front of it. There's no algorithm to control it. Build a website, give your work the home it deserves, and with Squarespace you have all kinds of different templates to choose from. So no matter what it is you do or what kind of stuff you shoot, there's gonna be something there to work for you. Not only that, if you want to do more than just show off your work there, you can have a blog, you can have an online store, an email newsletter, literally anything you need to do. Squarespace has all of it built right into their service. As easy as it is, they also have 24/7 award-winning customer service, so if you ever need help or have questions with anything, they are always there to help. If you want to try Squarespace out for yourself, you can do so entirely free at squarespace.com, but when you're ready to get signed up, go to squarespace.com/mattday. That'll get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.